vuelvo a insistir en que nosotros como comunidad estamos siendo atacados por el mismo aparato, por el mismo sistema, y necesitamos entender que tenemos que trabajar juntos, que tenemos que coalicionarnos, que tenemos que hacer el esfuerzo unificado para romper con toda esta violencia, para impedir que el desarrollo humano, para impedir que sigan deteriorando el desarrollo humano. Le hace daño tanto a una persona que recibe la violencia de la policía como al que lo ve. ¿Y qué tipo de personas están caminando en San Francisco si no son sensibles ante toda esa violencia, si no son sensibles ante tanta falta de oportunidad que tiene la gente que está caminando en la calle? Es bien triste ver que muchos, ya son muchas mascotas tienen donde dormir, y mucha de nuestra gente parecida a nosotros, humanos, están en la calle. Y si no somos sensibles a eso, o no promovemos esa sensibilidad, mucha gente va a seguir siendo explotada por este sistema, pero no lo siente. Y siempre está diciendo, como yo tengo el privilegio. No es un privilegio ser insensible.
And I also want to highlight that as a community, we are being attacked by this system, and we need to understand that working together as a coalition with great efforts, we can break down this violence and we can prevent the detriment to human development. Because police violence hurts not just the person on the receiving end, but those who witness it. And if we're not sensitive to the lack of opportunities of the people that are on the streets, what kind of people are we? You know, it's sad to see that our pets have somewhere to sleep, but people who look like us are out on the street. And so we don't want to continue being exploited because we say, well, I have the privilege. No. Being insensitive is not a privilege.
Give it up one more time for the panel presentation. I just wanted to make a quick announcement, or rather, not really an announcement, but for those of you in the back, there are some empty seats, so if you'd like to sit, folks that have empty seats next to them, if you can raise your hand. Cool. Everyone else good back there? We can also look to see about getting some more chairs, but just wanted to point out that there's empty seats. So, great, make your way up. And if you would like, there is an overflow room in 215. This is breaking news. We had it set up before, but didn't think we had a need for it. But if you would like, we're streaming the video of this panel. So if you'd like to be in the overflow room, that's also available. So 215. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohammed. Okay, so we have. I want to thank everyone for providing such rich examples of really strong work that is happening across San Francisco. And so I want to get into the first question about joining forces. So given the powerful work that everyone is doing, what are ways in which you all can imagine that your organizing can, or already does, collaborate with the other organizing that's represented at this table? How can we strengthen our work by doing this thing of joining forces. Who would like to
I think that's a really good question, and I think just us being here in the room right now and having this discussion and talking about how can we get together and really see the bigger fight, the big fight, right? Because I think a lot of us in the city who are involved in anti-policing measures, anti-jail measures, have very specific coalitions, very specific things that we're taking on. But essentially, we can tie it in all together. So let's just take, for example, the gang injunctions. We know that the gang injunctions lead to gang enhancements, which essentially lead to longer incarceration sentences, which essentially lead to fueling the prison industrial complex, so these private prison companies can further exploit our young men and women of color. So we can definitely tie these things in. I think Woods mentioned earlier, take the example of Mario Woods, who while he was incarcerated, he did not need to be incarcerated. He needed mental health services. But one of the things that happened while he was incarcerated is he was served with the injunction, and no one explained it to him. No one said what it was. Didn't have the right to an attorney, and he needed mental health services. But because he got the injunction while he was incarcerated, when he actually went to his trial, they gave him significantly more time, essentially coming out with trauma, right? And this is what we're talking about when we're talking about this is a health issue. So we can, this all connects together.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really important to recognize how closely these issues are all connected. I mean, I honestly see them as the same issue. I see laws like gang injunctions, criminalization of homelessness, criminalization of sex work, that feeds into the ability of police to commit violence against people, and including stops, I think, are a form of violence. And then that feeds into the criminal justice system. So they're all very closely connected. And we know from health data that incarceration, as well as interactions with policing, are harmful to health. So these issues are very closely connected. I think in terms of how we can work together, they do no harm. Really, the reason we exist is to support groups that are working on, to fight against state violence. So one of the things that we do is send out medic teams to protests, for instance, and do street medic training. So that's a way that we have been helping and want to continue helping. Likewise, if you all think that people that have been affected by police violence and can help us get out the word about the survey, that's awesome. So yeah, I think there's a lot that we can bring to the table, and I think just knowing what we're all up to. I mean, it's great just hearing the upcoming events, and we try to get people out to events as much as possible, and just to show up for each other.
Bueno, nosotros como organización estamos proveyendo educación política y nosotros creemos que educar y dar poder de conciencia para que la gente impactada sea protagonista del cambio. Creo que solos, pues grande, ojalá todos estén bien activos, pero aún así todos los que estamos aquí no vamos a hacer el cambio. Entonces estamos tratando de dar esa educación y promover, dar al pueblo, a la comunidad, las herramientas de análisis que pueda entender que las condiciones que los oprimen tiene que ver con el sistema y viene del sistema, y crea las condiciones para que el sistema capitalista nos siga oprimiendo. Entonces, si la comunidad entiende eso, ustedes la van a ver en estos eventos como hay algunas compañeritas ahorita que dejaron hasta su trabajo a sus hijos para estar aquí, y me fascina que estén ustedes porque son los organizadores y los he visto en la calle, pero también me fascina que esté la comunidad aquí hoy en este lugar. ¿Por qué? Porque tenemos que entender qué significa solidaridad.
Well, as an organization, we're really providing political education to people, educating them, raising awareness, and it's important to realize that those who are the ones impacted are the ones that can bring about that change. And you know, it's promoting, educating the public, and providing them with the analytical tools to understand that the oppression is being brought by the system. The capitalist system is the one that's creating these conditions. And you know, it's great to see some of my friends here. They left their kids and left their homes just to be here, and I love seeing that they're here because I've seen them out on the streets, and I'm glad to see them here. And I love seeing that the community is also here today, because I think this is what's really going to help us understand what solidarity is all about.
Y bueno, a nosotros como Causa Justa, que somos la fusión de 3 organizaciones bien chingonas, esa palabra me gusta mucho, por eso la es power, que logramos el Fast Pass para los niños gratis, logramos los 25 minutos para que no nos siguieran robando nuestros carros a las mujeres, y Comité de Vivienda San Pedro, que por muchos años ha defendido a los inquilinos, y Causa Justa, que está en Oakland. Y algo fuerte que estamos logrando y que